Yes. You are looking at not Mortal Kombat, but Street Fighter. Holy cow. Well, buckle up, people, if you've never seen this game before. It is special. We'll call it that way here. I have it muted right now because, I know that the game volume is ridiculously loud. Let's try to take that off mute. But yeah, this is basically... Yeah, like I said, ridiculously way too loud. We can adjust that. But this was back in the day when, basically for, Mortal Kombat was really popular, and Capcom's like, man, we gotta get on that and tie it into our horrific bomb of a movie. How can we get people interested in Street Fighter? We know, we'll make it like Mortal Kombat. Kind of. And, yeah, it's quite bizarre. But I actually like it. If I could, this is one of the arcade machines that I personally want to own. Let's see, operator adjustables. We're gonna drop the game volume way, way far down. So we gotta take off service mode, or it's just gonna keep us looped into it. So I'll see how this goes for sound. Street Fighter, the movie, the game, pretty much. Now, this did get ported, in a sense, to the home consoles, but they changed the game completely around. So let me know if I need to readjust the audio or anything. I think it looks like it might be okay. Moving the screen real quick. There we go. I love how you have Sagat's intro, and it's him just getting decked in the face. Everyone else is doing something cool. And Sagat! Smacked in the face by Ken. Okay, so pause still works. So yeah. If you've never seen the Street Fighter 2 movie, it's unique in its own right. It's a so bad it's funny type movie. It's just pure cheese. As long as you know that going into it. Having seen it when it was brand new coming out, it was not so funny. But years later, I've come to appreciate it for what it is. It's just a total disaster. So they made an arcade game, basically trying to help support it. And this is the version 1.0, which is the most broken version. Or actually 1.1, I think it is what I'm playing. Yeah. It's completely busted and broken. You can do interrupts, so you can, basically there's no cooldown for special moves. So you can do fireball into another fireball, or immediately into a hurricane kick, into a dragon punch, into another hurricane kick. As soon as the move ends, you can do another one into it. There are counter throws, there are desperation moves, it goes all over the place. So let me know if I need to readjust the audio or anything. And by the way, this is what it sounds like when you put in a quarter. Yeah. There are secret characters in this game. Probably try out a couple of them. Well, I guess we'll try Ken, which is kind of funny because this actor could not say Hadouken, Shoryuken, or anything like that. So he yells everything in English. Oh, he actually says Hadouken. Okay. So, it's a certain move he couldn't say. Dragon. That's why he couldn't say Shoryuken, so instead he yells Dragon. Oh yeah, there's also shadow moves. Trying to do super. Unfortunately, MAME likes to eat inputs, so... There's also a health... You can regenerate health. You can do all sorts of crazy stuff in this game. It's absurd. Now, when they ported this to home consoles, I was super disappointed because I bought it for the Sega Saturn. And it's not this game. They rebalanced it to Super Turbo instead. Yeah. Like I said, the actor could not say the moves, so they had to, like, they basically had to change things around. I don't know what the shadow moves do, but they do something. Yeah, and there's also juggles, as you see. By the way, this is on easy, the easiest difficulty mode. This game is pretty busted for AI and everything. It's a lot of fun, two-player. Now, unfortunately, the last time I played this game was about 3 months ago, and Twitch literally erased my archive of it. Because they're like, there's too much copyrighted content on it, on this game. On your stream, it's no longer being kept. It's like, okay. Because I also played the Saturn version of Street Fighter II Interactive Movie, which is basically the animated movie, but you can interact with it. So they're like, yeah, you can't do that. You can't have that at all. We've erased your stream. Let's see if I can hit him with the super. Exploding life bar! Now there is, like, one of the reasons I was kind of disappointed is that my archive got deleted, is that there is a Easter egg that I don't remember what it is, and I never remember it. It took me like half the stream to remember last time. Where, wow, okay, that just stuffed my hurricane kick. But, basically, you can cause like a background character to explode. So I'll try to see if I can get it. It's only on one stage where it happens, so when that comes up, I'll be definitely trying it out. Oh, that's right, you have a... I forgot, you can do a hurricane kick in the air, and then like hit all three kicks and up, and get like a double jump. It's kind of weird. It works better if you can hit somebody, though. Now, I've never beaten this arcade machine. It's like the last time I got to Bison, and that was about as good as I can get, because that's when the game really gets even harder. Even more broken. Haha! Take that. You can counter the throw into another counter on top of it, and eventually the game will yell Slam Master after like the 5th time. But that is like ridiculously hard to do because you gotta have a fast input. This is why you play version 1.0 of things. You can break the game. The question is, should I let her be? Yeah, we'll leave her be. Nah, let's finish her off. So that's Kylie Minogue, but that's not like her voice, so... Sawada, he was supposed to be like the Fei Long of the series, and he was supposed to get his own like movies like after the success of this movie, which is quite hilarious now looking back on it. And nobody thought to ask, like, okay, he does martial arts really well. Can he act? The answer is no, not even close. So he kind of is like Fei Long in this game. He's got a couple different moves. Like the, I'm trying to think of what it is. Like, basically we're just doing like an overhead kick. That move, that's like a Fei Long thing. Now, unfortunately, throws are just, like, fierce or roundhouse, like, close enough to a person. It wouldn't be till, what was it, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike came out that you had a dedicated throw. Oh. I'll take a look at a move list real quick. Let's see. Down, down, forward, forward. Okay, so it's a fireball and 2 kicks. Okay, so that's what it was. I was doing the wrong direction. There were a couple different versions of this game, like revisions of the arcade game put out, but because this was like almost nobody played this game at all in the arcades, like when I first came across it in the arcades, there was 3 machines right next to each other. Nobody was touching them. Everybody was playing like Super Turbo. But it's like, so there's 3 different versions of this game, revisions, and there's like 0 documentation online about what the differences are. So all I know is that there's some different move sets. God, your sweep range sucks. Punch in the face. Remember, this is on the easiest level it can go. It input reads like crazy. Alright, who else we got? You know, surprisingly, you can get pretty far with Guile. Let's see, let's take a look at his list. Guile. Okay, let's see. Supers. Okay, that really won't help a lot. It's like, it's not gonna work. Alright, let's see. Okay. Let's try him out. Alright, here's the stage I was talking about. I don't remember what the input is, but there's a guy like right behind Sawada, like underneath the UN headquarters sign there. You can get him to explode if you input the right button presses. I remembered it. So it's jab, light kick, jab. Like light punch, light kick, light punch. And you get to do it again. If you have to, cheese it out. Yeah, so he's got like a combo, kick combo, but it doesn't really do anything because it doesn't follow the character. It doesn't like walk after him. Yeah, Guile's kind of broken in this game. So is everybody. Oh, look, it's Ming-Na. As fast as you can throw a fireball, the computer will counter. I don't think I've ever hit anybody with that move. You hold down Fierce Punch, then let go. And then you let go. Through metal. Flash kick? Yep. The game wouldn't give me my roundhouse. It kept stopping after 1 frame. Alright, so this is kind of interesting with Balrog. I don't remember any of his moves. Let me take a look. But he's got a very interesting characteristic. Or we'll call him Boxer, I guess. To be, so that way all regions know exactly what I'm talking about. He automatically deflects fireballs just by blocking. So if anyone throws a fireball at you, as long as you block, instantly it reflects back to them. Okay, that's there. All right. Don't know. Well, I've already defeated him, so he's not going to show up right now, but... Okay, so I guess it doesn't... Yeah, so... Apparently against the CPU, it doesn't care. It's going to just absorb the fireball instead of reflecting it back. Because if you play against the person, it reflects back automatically. If you're playing against a computer, like if the computer is Boxer, and he blocks, it instantly goes back. Hey, it's the morgue! Discovering how the computer cheats. Well, I already know it does in this game, but... So I was just mentioning, with Boxer, if you're playing against a computer and the computer's Boxer, or if you're playing a 2-player match, if you throw a fireball, it instantly like deflects back. You don't have to do anything. But if you're Boxer and you're playing against a computer who's not you, like basically Chun-Li right now, you don't reflect back fireballs. You just absorb them and take chip damage. She's King Kikoken, which is Kaioken? Not really quite. Yes, Kikoken is what she's yelling. Oh yes, that stomp move, by the way, is unblockable. You have to be in the air. Yeah, this is the wonderful Street Fighter the movie, the arcade game. It is completely broken. Nobody played it in the arcade. When I saw it in the arcades and played it the first time, there was 3 machines lined up next to each other and nobody touched it. Everybody was playing Super Turbo. And so they thought, okay, well, we have the movie. This was originally going to be Street Fighter 3, by the way, as the story goes. So like, okay, we have this movie. We need to tie in a game to it. It was going to be Street Fighter 3, and they're like, Capcom's like, no, let's just spin it to its own movie, like its own thing. Wise decision. And they thought, let's do digitized graphics. Let's get all the actors into the game. And then they made it so like super moves have no cooldown, so... If you do, like, if you're playing a non-charge character, you can do, like, Fireball into Hurricane Kick and the Dragon Punch and the Hurricane Kick again. As soon as the move is done, just input it again, and you're off to the next move. So you can just chain all sorts of stuff together. There's juggles, there's a healing mechanic, there's comeback moves. It's just busted the hell and back. I love it. I really want to own this arcade machine. It's just such a crazy piece of, like, you know, arcade history, really. Street Fighter history that nobody talks about. And they did port it, in a sense, to, like, the home consoles. Pretty much, they farmed it out to incredible technologies. Or the ones who made the game. Why are you not dead? What? There we go. Like, good lord. So yeah, they farmed it out to a company called Incredible Technologies, who are the ones who did this. And when they did eventually port this to home, like, because I have it on the Sega Saturn, it's not this game. I was so upset because I was expecting all this jankiness and brokenness and all that fun. They changed the home versions to play closer to Super Turbo. Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. And for me, that was, like, the biggest disappointment, because I was expecting the home version of this. Yeah, so, like, nobody played this at all, but it is completely broken and busted, and I enjoy it. I have a lot of fun with it. He's got a special move. Let me look it up real quick. I gotta see exactly what it is. Ah, yes, here we go. Yes, he's got an eye move. He lifts up his eye patch and hypnotizes you. He doesn't yell special moves. He just has tiger sounds. See if I can get that to pause. Okay, so yeah, it is actually a tiger's head. It's kind of hard to see over on the left side of the screen. But yeah, so he does have, like, a tiger head in the move. Let me see what else he has. Let's see, Sagat. Here we go. Oh, that's right. His Tiger Knee in this game is actually, it's not a Dragon Punch with a kick. It's actually just a Fireball with a kick. So let's see. Supers. The traditionals. Okay, here we go. Now, what's really funny is, like, in the intro, like the press start, like, I'm trying to think what it is, what it's called, the attract mode. There we go. You see, like, all the characters doing something cool. Like, Ryu's got, like, the sword, like the machete from the movie, and he's flipping it around, and it shows everyone else doing cool stuff, and it shows Sagat, and it's just his actor getting punched in the face by Ken. It's like, really? I guess the programmers did not like Sagat. Hypnotize! Oh, come on! Try to get the super out. Alright, here's your Kylie Minogue, but here's the thing. It's Kylie Minogue, but it's not her voice. It's really weird. I don't know what happened, but they used somebody else to dub her lines. It's not a cannon spike, it's a thrust kick. Oh yeah, you can also counter throws in this game too. Because why not? And this is also on the easiest difficulty, I should mention too. Akuma! Alright, so here's my little favorite Easter egg. I showed this off a little earlier. If you look behind E Honda, there's a guy standing underneath the unit headquarters. If you input light punch, light kick, light punch, he blows up. Like so. He'll be back. He'll be okay. So, for some poor guy at the Allied Nations, he threw me out of a teleport? And on recovery. You gotta make him blow up. You just can't. You just have... You can't not. Yeah, the game's just slightly cheap by a lot. Alright. The actor who played Ken could also not say, like, he couldn't say half the moves. So, yeah. You're not gonna hear the usual stuff like Shuriken. You could say Hadouken at least. Okay, that's like stuffing that. There we go. Said, remember, this is easiest difficulty. We're not even like halfway through the list. No, you also can't stop the computer from input reading you and juggling you to hell and back either. Let's see if the cheapness of Guile can save me. With my nut punch. Nope. Now, Guile has like a kick combo that is like useless as hell. It's like, it's a light kick and a medium kick, and you just keep hitting a medium kick. But the thing is, it doesn't chase anybody, and it pushes everyone back. So it's like useless. Yes, Mr. American. Yeah, I can't even do like the Belgian accent, so I'm not gonna attempt to do that again. Like, in order to not alienate like my European friends, associates. onlookers, people in awe of my ability to play this game and get destroyed. Any game, really, and get destroyed. Okay, so what is that wonderfully cheap move that is unblockable? Oh, it's basically all three kicks. You charge them and then you let them go. Hey, Nimix. That's usually not a phrase people are good to see, like, wow, I'm so glad he's streaming. I'm glad he's using subpar gameplay with a horrible Street Fighter. It's entertaining. Hey, I managed to win. But good to see you. Now, Balrog, aka Boxer. Interesting little thing with him. If I were to pick a character who has a fireball, and he blocks it, it instantly comes right back at me. He doesn't have to do anything, he just has to block it normally. Yeah, work sucks. Especially if you're not feeling good. Oh look, it's Fei Long in the background. He was supposed to be in this game and never happened. Let's see, what is his desperation? Which I will not be able to pull off. Forward, back, forward, kick. Okay. Yeah, she is really... Maybe she's like trying to saw through the chains or something through that little statue holding him up. I don't know. Oh god, Blade is like anti-air everything. Alright, so that was the desperation move. It was kind of hard to see. It did a super just as soon as I did in mine, so... He's going rolling out him at a ball like Blanca. There's no warning that it's coming either. You just have to be like super low health. Careful, he's gonna try to rope you into something. May or may not be legal in all 49 states. That's right, I don't recognize Florida. Although in The Simpsons it was actually Missouri. For the Abe Simpson quote. Alright, my favorite exploding guy stage. Light punch, light kick, light punch. And the guy in the background will explode. We'll wait for the truck to pass. Does it serve absolutely nothing? But it's fun to do. Oh no, he hypnotized me. Not again. I've seen him. Actually, I tuned in last night, I think it was. He was doing like a Super Mario All-Stars race, all games. Alright, let's see. Oh, crap. Oh, come on. Alias. That is a lot of stun. Alright, let's see. There we are. Yeah, so like the computer can hit you like a couple times to just straight off stun you, but you can wail on the computer all day. And it don't care. That move is unblockable. If you're in range, it's gonna suck you in. No! Here it comes again. Yeah, that desperation doesn't do anything at all. They lied. Why does this game look so god-awful? Because it runs fast and they're doing Street Fighter, or actually Mortal Kombat graphics. Digitization. It really does. It's cheap, but that's half the fun. Especially if you're playing against like another person, it's a lot of fun. But if you're playing against the computer, not so much. I mean, it's like input reading and picking everything perfectly. It can dizzy you in record time, but you can barely dizzy it. See, it's like his moves like will auto-correct. So if the game inputs like a Dragon Punch, it will automatically come through like on the right side. Whereas mine will just, instead of doing a Dragon Punch to juggle him, it'll just turn into like a Fireball because it's going the wrong way. Also, I'm dealing almost next to no damage right now. There we go. Yes, this game really does cheat, but that's why I've never really beaten it. I've got it all the way to M. Bison, yeah, M. Bison, aka Dictator. I've never beaten it. Hello, sir. I'm a green thumb. Can you tell me how I can recycle my poop to get maximum return on my loss? Oh, sadly, yes, I can. Because once upon a time, many years ago, I almost married a literal tree-hugging hippie who lived in the middle of the woods and grew up pretty much without plumbing or indoor electricity for many years. And, so yeah. I got very quickly introduced to a little thing called a compost toilet, which is where everyone just takes a communal crap and you can't flush because there's no water, and you just throw some peat moss on top of it and hope somebody didn't have Taco Bell the next day. And yeah, because that's going to be there for a while until you finally start to clear it out. Then you put it all across your crops and hope that basically you don't get E. coli, which unfortunately happened to me because they also had an outhouse, because like I said, you know, there's a compost toilet inside there, but they also had an outhouse that they hadn't moved in many years, and they had a shallow water table. Outhouses you're supposed to move every 5 years at least. They had theirs for at least 20, and everything that they were shitting into went right into the water supply. Now, the reason I got sick and they didn't, however, is because, one, they're a bunch of alcoholics, and two, if they weren't drinking booze for some reason, then they were drinking tea or coffee, which is all boiled. I was the only moron drinking tap water, or at least I thought it was tap water. It was well water contaminated with E. coli. So yes, there is a way you can get the maximum return on your poop, but it's not the best thing in the world. And that is Wurzel's traumatizing stories from his past about an almost relationship where he could have been slightly happy for a couple of years. Yes, poop water, the type you don't have to pay a hooker for. I mean, you could. I mean, I'm not going to judge you, but... Threw me off the ground? Really? Wow, that combo actually worked for once. Well, it's like, how do you make a hormone? You just don't pay her. And that is a family joke in my family. That is a well-established joke you will hear multiple times, usually at Thanksgiving during Does Anyone Have Any Prayers to Offer? Clutch! Yeah. Kumite! Yeah. Alright, so I have never beaten Bison. Ever. Ever. I don't really expect to be honest. Gotta make him explode over. Anything else, you have to make him explode. You think, like, this game would, like, also have a dedicated, like, final boss... you know, level or something. Nope. Not with this game. What is Guile's desperation? Yeah, okay. Sonic Boom is you charge back, then forward, back, forward, then with Light Punch, then down, down, back, back, down, down, forward, forward. So basically, you have to do this charging fireball motion, and then do this like SNK super move, and then which will cause the Sonic Boom to explode. That's not gonna happen. That I call shenanigans on that. That's nowhere near anywhere like. I mean, it's game facts for one, so you know somebody was just like huffing paint while they're writing it. Yes, Mortal Street Bat. What's up, Ronnie? Right at the end. Well, the end of this game, just about, in theory, if I can beat it. Exploding Soldier, go! Serve your country! I will notify your widow you died a senseless death. Yeah, combos! Who's got time for that? The input reads are real. Oh, imagine air throw for once. Okay, it's not getting my shadow moves. Killer Instinct would be preferable because you have like combo breakers and everything. Okay, that doesn't go through his shadow moves, apparently. His lightning. Drop the Dragon Punch input. Would have kept juggling. Yes, the vengeful spirit of Raw Julia's new actor, because unfortunately he passed away. I said, I've never beaten this game. I can get to this point eventually. But the game is like, it hits so hard, you deal so little damage, and it's in full input read mode. I mean, it's like that the entire game, but it's like it's cranked up to 11 at this point. It's like I'm using like fierces and roundhouses, like the hardest ones, and like I'm barely doing any damage, but one of his moves just takes off at least a fifth of the life. Haha, reversed order. But yeah, like I said, barely did any damage. He's just taking it right off. I think he did that move in the movie, I want to say. Can the most American Belgium person ever defeat Bison? Probably not. So look at that damage, it's sick. So the game didn't know which way to block for a second. Let's see if Honda can at least do the trick. Seemed to work for just about everybody else. Who knew that as soon as I let go of kicks, he's going to take to the air? That's crazy. Slap your way to victory. Ah, crap. Or not. trying to think of what the game was called. It's been a while since I've played it. But the last boss was this guy called the General. And he was like literally the hardest arcade boss ever to exist. To the fact of like to the point where the makers of the game apologized, issued out a new version with him slightly easier to beat. And when I say slightlier, I mean like not much. What was that game? Let's see. Fighting game, the General. Kaiser Knuckle, that's what it was. Yeah, the General's the final boss in that game, and then it's literally impossible to beat just about. They did find an exploit for it, but like it took a while for people to figure it out even. That game got tired of me winning at least a round, so... Not trying to throw, I'm trying to do a Dragon Punch, but... This game, if you're close and you do a fierce anything, really, or a roundhouse, it's an instant throw. Okay, now I can keep playing the rest of the game. And by playing, I mean just lose. Anticipating him to jump. Game said no. Okay, I didn't know that box could explode. It's the first time I've seen that happen. Yeah, I think we pretty much reached the end of this. Didn't like the Dragon Punch. Oh, I saw a guy in the background. He gives me strength to get electrocuted and not have moves come out because it's MAME and inputs are not the best on this. I'll say, he fell out of the super? Really? Oh well.
Game over.
So let's see the intro. I want to, like, they should show Sagat on this. I think they're going to do. If it starts off with Ryu, Sagat is the best intro. Yeah, here we go. They're going to show Sagat here, and he's got the best one. That's his introduction to the game. Standing there and getting punched in the face by Ken. The developers either thought that the guy was a real jerk, or they just didn't like Sagat at all. And seeing how Sagat plays, I can kind of see why they do that. But yeah, not the best arcade introduction like, oh cool, Sagat, and he's just getting his face punched in by Ken, who smiles for the camera. We already mentioned Jean-Claude Van Damme before. Let's do it again. And this also is one of the best credits intros ever. Oh yeah. Alright, we're going to switch it up. Give me a second. We're going to work on getting this closed out properly, because it's deciding to take a little bit to do. Yes, I'm sure I want to quit. We're going to play a good Street Fighter game now. Probably one of the best ones, arguably. And that is a wonderful little game called Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. The classic. Now this is the PlayStation 3 version, so you can go and you can unlock things. By the way, let me know if I need to readjust the audio, of course. But you have points to unlock different things, it's a lot of fun. But on my PlayStation 3, it basically ties back into your profile, so everything you've done saves and carries over. I wanted to do something brand new and fresh with it. So this is emulated. This is actually running on the RPCS3 emulator. It's a PlayStation 3 emulator. Okay, cool. So it is taking... Yep, Third Strike. Hey, Mollusk. Yep, this is Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. This is the PlayStation 3 version, but it's actually being emulated right now. Let's see, settings, filter, none, scan lines, very good. Well, there was Street Fighter 3, it didn't do too well. I actually taught my brother how to play that in the arcade. And then came Second Impact, which was a step in the better direction. Still wasn't quite there, and then they finally came out with Third Strike, which was like nailed the formula perfectly, and that's what everybody like pretty much, you know, jumped on immediately. So the cool thing about this is that not everybody really got into Third Strike, 'cause this came out like '99, and a lot of people kind of grew up without it, or like basically Street Fighter 4 was the first one to do it. So they actually had a really good tutorial teaching you how to do parries. Basically what you have to do is just hit forward as soon as the attack comes in. If you've never played Third Strike before, and you parry the move, you take no damage whatsoever. Let me turn down my little internal volume here for headphones. There we go. Once you learn the timing, this is a simple parry. Okay.
Now.
Hard to imagine this. We're gonna try very low on health. Being able to parry Ken's bread and butter move is powerful. Okay. Oh, that's right. I think you do down first.
Now.
This is the best. This is like one of my favorites. Okay, so it is actually 4. I thought it was down. Maybe it was a previous version I'm thinking of. Isn't this great? Let's see. There should be... There's also like Evo moment like 37 in here. Yes. So if you've never seen this, I'll play this in a second. I'll pull it up on YouTube and we'll take a look at it. This was like what like Street Fighter 3 Third Impact, or yeah, Third Strike. Not a Third Impact. It put like Third Strike on the map for a lot of people who missed out on the game. You have to parry all that and land in the super. Yep.
Go.
So you have to parry all that and then land a super move afterwards. Crap. Get the first part.
Go.
Man, it's actually like a different timing to it. Oh yeah, the music is great for this game. It's not too bad. The only thing I really wish was in here was basically like the backgrounds I'm not really a fan of on Third Strike, but with Second Impact had some amazingly colorful backgrounds that I thought would be a lot better. Like I would still like to have a hack of somebody who can take like Second Impact's backgrounds and put them into Third Strike. That'd be perfect. Game over. Alright, so let me mute this real quick. We're gonna take a look at how this is supposed to be done. Basically, this is like what, like, you know, set the entire thing into motion. So give me a second. We're gonna switch over to desktop. Let's see how this is at for. I think audio should be fine. I'm gonna turn up the audio a little bit more for this.
1-0.
There we go. So this is known as Evo Moment 37, which is what the game's trying to get me to do. So let's switch this over to desktop. Here we go. So this is basically, this actually happened. This was like Evo 2004, 15 years ago. And this was like the most insane thing I'd ever seen on this game.
Rare footage of Daigo actually angry. Just its turtle style. Overcome Rao. Now on the verge of putting Daigo down. 1-0.
And something like that had not been seen before, like that level of execution just done on the fly in the middle of a tournament of all things. And it wasn't even like the final match on top of it, but that's the famous Evo 37 moment. It's just like, it's ridiculously hard. Maximilian dude who streams on YouTube, or not YouTube, on Twitch, loves this game. He can actually pull this off. It takes him a little bit to do it. But he actually did like a boss rage of trying to figure out how to get this done, like to do this exactly and pull it off. It took him something like, I think the first time 127 tries. Alright, let's unmute the game. Yeah, Evo 37 is insane. There's also trials you can do.
Fighters ready. Engage. Are you ready? Go.
I don't know what that move is. Ah, okay. Get too fast. Almost got it. It's all about timing in this game, but yeah. This is a really, really great version of the game. I definitely suggest everybody go out and buy it. I have it on the PS3, which is why I also emulate it as well. But it is a lot of fun. It can really teach you how to play the game too, if you have the patience for it. Let's see, Dudley or Oro. Let's do Dudley first.
Fighters ready. Engage.
The animation in this game is crazy too. It's all hand drawn. Runs actually at 64 frames per second, which is like unheard of just about.
Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
Taunting is also a thing in this game too. It actually does stuff. It's not just like trying to show off or make your opponent angry or anything, but it actually has buffs. And I forgot exactly what they are, but I remember like on Q, you do his. Then it leads to like a defensive buff. Like if you do it like 3 times, I think you have like more defensive power, either that or your attack power goes up. So it's really a different game. Taunting serves like a purpose in this game. So if you're ever playing online, which is kind of funny because at first people were getting really upset when this game came out. They're like, people are taunting me constantly. It's like, yeah, it's a mechanic of the game. They're not insulting you.
Are you ready? Go.
Ah, Ibuki. Ibuki was the character I taught my brother how to play. Oh, that whiffed. So you may have noticed, like on the left, you get points. So with this build of the game, like from Iron Galaxy, you get points for doing different things, throwing out fireballs, completing parries, and it basically allows you to unlock things in the vault. So you can unlock like backgrounds, character art, music. You can actually unlock like the soundtrack from Second Impact. I think the original's in there too. I was thinking like, I'll try parrying that. Not the best move. Now, it should be known that I do not have the best computer, but certain games still run really well in emulation, and this is definitely one of them. Virtua Fighter 5 also runs really great, too. Oh, 12. Nobody liked you. I don't think I've ever seen 12, like, professionally playing before. It was, like, too weird of a character. There's also a technique in the parries that I didn't get to, called like red parrying. And what it is if you're blocking, you quickly tap forward for the next, like when the next attack hits, and you'll be able to parry it. It's like, and you'll flash red. It's like a more advanced, harder form to do because you got to be super quick. Yeah, you don't see 12 very often. Like I said, in like normal play, just casual or competitive or anything really. This game also, I think, has negative edge, which is like you hold down a button and let it go, and you throw an attack. I think, could be wrong. Maybe it's in one of the other Street Fighters. Interrupt. Yeah, 12 came out in this game in Third Strike. He wasn't in the other versions of the game. Noticeably, Third Strike brought in the ability to do throws by command. You just have to press light punch, light kick at the same time. So that was greatly improved. And also sped up too. Yes, I had to stop that car. I heard it was Christine. It was on its way to kill a bunch of people in Maine, because everything Stephen King does is in Maine. He doesn't realize that there's another, 49 states out there. Necro is, the closest approximation to Dhalsim in this game, in my opinion. He's got, stretchy limbs.
Are you ready? Go.
Stephen King is from Maine, and every single one of his books is set in Maine. He may go other places in New England, but it's going to start in Maine, or his main character is going to be from Maine.
Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
Throw escape. Oh crap.
You win.
One of the bigger things, in my opinion, missing from this game is... Okay, this works, pause works. Is the defeat screens. Pardon me. In Street Fighter 3 Vanilla and Second Impact, if you beat the character, just like a throwback to the old past, it shows you, you standing over your opponent, they're all beaten up, bruised, and bloody. And for Third Strike, they got rid of it for whatever reason. It's just these screens here, you're just oh yeah, here I am, I'm cool, here's my win quote. Instead of you gloating over your victim, you just kick their butt. So it's, for me, it's another sorely missed thing. Let's do Elena. She's got some cool animations. One of her animations for when she wins is actually taken from a David Lee Roth video of all things. People are trying to figure out like where the artist had like rotoscoped it from, and someone's like, wait a minute, that's from like, it's a girl from a David Lee Roth video, and put it online, and sure enough, it was. It's kind of funny. All her moves are kicks. She's also, like, technically the tallest person in the entire game. She just hunches over. She stands up, she's, like, something like close to 7 feet tall. Trying to parry, not working. It's not giving me super. Yeah, that part there where she bends over like that, it's actually from a David Lee Roth video. Can't remember exactly which one it was. Let's see. Do I have... Yeah, you can play as Gil, who is the final boss of the game, and completely busted, which is why he is banned from tournament play. Oh, Remy. Remy is like the rip-off Guile. He's only been in this game, and that's it.
Fighters ready. Engage.
He's got a flash kick, he's got a sonic boom, he's Guile. Oh crap, I don't remember his supers. I don't play as Gil. Hold on a second. He's got like the cheapest super move, which is like one of the most hardest ones ever to block. Also because it can't be parried, it's real crappy to pull, which is why he's pretty much banned. That was Meteor, wrong one.
Fighters ready. Engage.
Oh crap, here we go. Resurrection! You come back, as long as you have a full super bar, you come back full health. There's nothing the game can do about it either, which is even better. Except for just input read. But after that though, you no longer have the super bar building. That's the downside for it.
Kneel before your master. Final round. Engage.
At least for the round. It comes back, you know, this round, next round through. Let's do Makoto. It was originally supposed to be Ryu's sister, and they kind of dropped that story idea. Yeah, you can't block this. You can't parry it at least. You can block it. But you cannot parry that move.
Kneel before your master. Are you ready? Go. Let me be.
I just love doing that super.
You win before your master.
Check it out now.
Bonus stage.
Ah, it's a parry minigame, basically.
Begin. I am your god.
Who can't stop basketballs, apparently. That's my one weakness. Don't tell anyone your god's weakness.
That's what I expected.
Gil's just saying stuff like, you know, I'm your god, and it's like Illuminati plot, and Sean's just yelling stuff and making sounds. He also speaks like Portuguese too, so everyone speaks their respective languages in this game. I don't know. I wasn't paying too much attention to it. Probably just grunting, I'm gonna guess. I can't remember in this game if you pick another character, if it sets you back further in the list or not, if it just continues forward. Hey Days, what's up? It's playing Third Strike, not the best at it, but it's one of my favorites of all the Street Fighter games. Yeah, pretty much. There's been a resurgence of it, especially this game helped. You know, this is the Iron Galaxy version, so it really it's a really great port. I mean, if you don't have this on PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360, I think it's backwards compatible now with Xbox One X too. Definitely pick it up. Yeah, it's kind of funny because like this game didn't get a whole lot of love when it came out. Fighting games were kind of on their way out. I mean, this is like the best version of the game you can play, really. I mean, it's like you can try like a lot of people say Fightcade, but it just seems to just play better overall, in my opinion. Yeah, the Anniversary Edition I did not like at all. I tried that and I'm just like, this has got problems.
I've been waiting for this. Well, I got
Really, it's not? Well, that sucks. 'Cause I thought it was. I guess I was wrong. Although, technically, right now, I'm playing this on emulation. I do have it on my PlayStation 3, but it's a pain about the stream with that. So this is running on RPCS3, the PlayStation 3 emulator, and it runs perfectly. You'll hear an occasional like audio glitch, but like gameplay-wise, it's no problem. Gotta remember Dudley's moves. Yeah, exactly. It runs ridiculously well. And I don't have the best computer either. Like a lot of times, like for games to run well, you gotta have a beefy rig. And mine's not the best. But certain games just run really well in emulator. Third Strike is one of them. Virtua Fighter 5 runs great too, which are all games that I own on my system itself, but... Okay, he's got the swing blow. So, because I remember, like, I have a friend of mine who wasn't really... Like, he didn't play a lot of Third Strike. And, like, they first put Dudley into, like, Street Fighter 4. He's like, I don't get it, like, why is he so good? I'm like, then we started playing this. I'm like, pick Dudley, get used to him. He's like, I see what you mean, this guy is amazing. It's like, yeah, he can be if you know what you're doing, and not like me and haven't played it in a year. Yeah, I try not to actually do a lot of online play. At least while streaming, because a lot of times, like, unless you have, like, a dedicated line for stuff, it's like, you're just gonna be, like, causing lag for almost everybody doing, because you're streaming, you're also talking, so they're gonna hear you a lot of times, too, and get kind of annoyed with it. But I mean, like, if you're doing it, though, and, like, everyone there knows you're hosting, like, you're hosting a lobby like that, and they know you're streaming type deal, then you know what you're getting into. Exactly. It's like, and that's fine, but what's really annoying is, like, when you're trying to play online, and you're fighting against some guy, and you can tell he's streaming, and his internet connection's crap. He's blaming you for it, but he's streaming in 1080p, and he's, like, on DSL. It's like, dude, you know, it's like, don't play. Unless you have, like, ridiculous levels of internet, don't bother. Like, right there is an audio glitch, so... No, T. Wallace, it should, though. I mean, he could be a really good guest appearance. Unlike last night, I think you were there for last night while I was doing Donkey Kong Country 2 and actually ended up soft-locking the game at the end. Turns out if you use a Game Genie, weird stuff happens. Really? I didn't know if that was gonna trade or not. Just chip him out. Yep, they did put him in Punch-Out for the Wii is what it was. Yeah, I taught my brother how to play the original vanilla Street Fighter 3 in the arcade, back when arcades were things. Unfortunately, I never played Third Strike in the arcade. There just wasn't like the arcade I like had at the time, because I grew up in the military, just did not have Third Strike. We had Tekken Tag though, that was awesome. Can't seem to like link into my like moves, like do the fireball, then do right into the super. Probably too slow. The 1-up versions of those, not good to be honest, T. Wallace. They are very, very cheaply made. The buttons are junk, the stick's junk. I mean, you're better off, literally, like, I hate to be one of those people getting a Raspberry Pi and building your own cabinet or something. But it's just like, it's not good at all. It's like $250, $300. Now, I've seen people, like, I'm trying to think, was it Prime ETA? That guy just drives me nuts. He's like, hey guys, he's like, here's the Street Fighter, arcade cabinet for review, and it holds up really well. By the way, I replaced all the guts, with real Samus buttons there, and a real stick on it, and I put in a different monitor and everything. So of course it's $200. It's like, yeah, you just put $1,000 worth of crap into it. It's not the machine you're reviewing or you're dealing with. So yeah, you can put a Raspberry Pi into it, but those, like, the 1-up machines are just like really cheap, like particle board construction though. So I do not recommend them at all. I've seen them just like wobbling all over the place. They say, here's the thing, they claim they're like 3/4 scale, which is a total lie. I own a Neo Geo MVS 2-slot arcade machine. Those, like, 1-up machines are at least half to 1/4. Those things are ridiculously small. They are not even in the neighborhood of 3/4 size. Yeah, see, like, what I did, like, when I originally taught my brother how to play the vanilla version of this game, because it was brand new at the time, we were in Kansas City, because we're an air base near there, called Whiteman Air Force Base. And they had this huge arcade in the mall still in Kansas City. It was actually Independence, very close to it. And I taught him how to play Ibuki. I was like, just pick anyone. He's like, the only characters we knew were, like, Ken and Ryu. He was like, well, I'll just pick this ninja girl. I'm like, that's fine. So then I taught him the ins and outs, like fireball, movement, parry, and everything else I had read at the time. And we probably spent about an hour playing it and got him hooked. And then, about a couple of years later, the Dreamcast came out. And they had it was called Double Impact, which basically was vanilla Street Fighter 3 and Second Impact in there, because Third Strike was not a thing at that point. So we got that and played the hell out of it. I had like the arcade stick. I still do, the Green Monster. So I've nicknamed it. Crap. So I played the hell out of that, basically, you know, got really good at it there. Second Impact, at least, had a lot of fun with it. Then, like, Third Strike, I didn't play it the first time until it was released on PlayStation 2. I was like, whoa, the game's really changed a lot. I like these changes. Yeah, I know, no Blanca in this, but they pretty much... The first thing, though, early on for the game, though, T. Wallace, we're talking like early planning of the game, they were originally not going to have Ken and Ryu. It was supposed to be like all 100% brand new characters, and people found out and were kind of upset. They're like, wait a minute. My favorite characters are not in this game, so they kind of acquiesced and put in Ken and Ryu. And then as the series went forward, they just kept putting in more kind of like characters, like Chun-Li made it in Third Strike. Then you got, like, Second Impact had Hugo from, like, the Final Fight series. But yeah, Sean is, like... Sean started off really good. He didn't seem like it at first, but if you really kind of figured out his mechanics, you could do a lot of damage with him. And they just kept nerfing him every single game. So he kind of became like the Dan almost of the series. Unintentionally so. There we go. So catch him. Yeah, no Honda or anything else here. A lot of them is just basically brand new characters. Yeah, Chun-Li, Akuma, Ken, Ryu. Yeah, I think that's it. For original characters, everybody else was brand new. I said, what I'd really like, though, is still to have the stages from Second Impact put into Third Strike. For me, that would be the best thing, because I don't really like these backgrounds. Second Impact had, like, amazing bright color backgrounds. The game looked amazing. Oh, also, Yang and Yun were originally, at the start, one character. They had the same identical moveset. It just depended if you selected the character with a punch or a kick for which one you got. Yeah, Urian likes to wear a really weird bikini, mankini. There we go. I am like really out of practice. Like I used to be able to do like the startup to it, like medium fierce into it, throw out the fireball, get that going, and cancel it. And I am out of practice. I'm also tired because I was playing Street Fighter the movie earlier. Yeah, so like the equivalent of that, like T-Walls in this game would be Necro? Neko? I'm trying to think of the guy. Not Neko. Neko is Japanese for cat. That definitely would not be him. Necro is the guy's name there. He's kind of like the closest you would have to like really having a Dhalsim-like character, because he does have stretchy limbs. Yeah, I tried to red parry. Probably shouldn't try to do that. One match down. Yeah, Urian was like a character that didn't really seem to take off for a while until like the Japanese really took to him and figured out there's a lot of crazy tech. Over like tournaments in the States and stuff I had seen scattered here and there, different places I'd move around. not a lot of people really picked Urian. Wasn't until kind of like later years, because this game is like has a lot of legs for it. I mean, a lot of people kept figuring stuff out about it many years after it came out.
The mark of my dignity shall scar thy DNA.
Fighters ready. Engage.
Now you do hear like the occasional audio stutter and stuff. It is also building a cache of everything you do. So after it happens once, you usually don't encounter it again on this emulator.
Prepare to strike. Now.
Reasons. The Illuminati, basically, it's all I remember, but he just has like powers like this, and I don't know why. Urian, the last guy I just fought, is actually this guy's brother. And he's a major pain in the butt, so as I was playing him earlier, if you get a full, like, super bar on the bottom, and you die, you instantly resurrect with full health. And the computer does the same thing. There we go. Days with all the lore. So we had Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, the pinnacle of the series, in my opinion. I like Street Fighter Alpha 2. A lot of people like Street Fighter Alpha 3. For me, that game's just too far broken. And then you have Street Fighter 4, which is kind of a throwback to Street Fighter 2 in a way. So a lot of the mechanics and jumping wise and everything else. Then you have Street Fighter 5, which is a pile of crap. Kept alive by esports. Well, I was a Jurian main, as soon as Super Street Fighter 4 came out. Loved that character, and then like Street Fighter 5 came out, I'm like, yes! And I actually had like a video that got put up by SRK of me just like screwing around with like a hacked version before she was released out to the public. And that got like 300,000 views. But anyway, I was like, oh, I'm hoping that this is just... You know, I was like, this isn't her final version, because they completely changed her entire rushdown style into, you know, like having to charge up stuff and you have to bank your moves, and they just completely wrecked her. Then on top of the game just having so many problems with like input lag, and then they changed around the combo system and the timing. Because I played, yeah, he's kind of like Guile almost. He was supposed to be the main character of the new games, basically. But I played the betas for Street Fighter V, and they were a lot of fun. The very first beta was even more fun because it still had Ultra Street Fighter 4's combo system. So, like, the first thing I did was, like, I unleashed, like, this 9-hit Ryu combo, and I was like, sweet! And the betas were great, and then the last second is where they decided, okay, we're going to add in 8 frames of input delay for every single one of your moves. And if you have a crappy television, that's going to put 2 to 3 frames of lag on top of it. And if you use the wrong controller, then you're adding another 1 to 2 frames. So people were trying to play this game with potentially up to, in the worst case scenario, 15 frames of lag at points. And it was just... it was horrendous. And they fixed the lag input. It was intentional. They intentionally put in that amount of lag. Oh crap, don't you knock me out of it. Alex, be cool, man. Now the game's not pulling it off. I get the resurrection instead. Thanks for the full life. Yeah, I should play the new Mortal Kombat on stream. Don't own it yet. And like I said, the crypt is still... It's getting better patched, but it's still in a normal time sink and not worth your money. And anybody who tells you, like, oh, it's microtransactions, there's no microtransactions for that game. You cannot buy the crypt. You have to invest a stupid ton of your time to do it. Hours upon hours. Just for random stuff. It's like, not even, like, usually for the character you're trying to unlock. Yeah, like, Mortal Kombat, like, X or 10, technically, was, like, the first Mortal Kombat game I really liked. I mean, I liked, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. I thought that was pretty good. But 10 was, like, the one that I really enjoyed. Actually had fun playing. And with this one, it just, like, it just seems to kind of taking a minor step backwards. With, like, how the crypt is run and everything. Like, I paid, like, whatever it was, the $15 to unlock the full crypt in MKX. Half your life, sucker. Oh yeah, ever since Mortal Kombat 9, there's been really good story mode. It just gets even better. 10's was great. I have not seen all of 11's. I want to hold off until I can play it and do it myself. Speaking of lots of time, included Area 2, press E. Excellent, so you're up to 2 areas now. Well, it's like everything else, Nimix, as you know. It's all speedrunning, it's about practice and getting your routes down and just playing over and over and over it every time that's going to come down for your time. So I've been telling lots of people in the Discord for Bayonetta 2. You know, it's like having some new runners getting ready to do their first runs. They're like, oh, these people are so great, they're gods at running this game. I'm like, you know, when they first started off, their times sucked. It's like, all our times did. Mine did. I had an over 3-hour run when I first started. It's like, you're gonna be bad at first, and you just keep playing, and you'll get better. Yeah, the bad guy won. Everyone's red and blue because they're following all this stuff, apparently. So let's see, where is it? I think it's single player vault. Here we go. So I unlocked 350 vault points. So you can actually unlock like different artwork. You can unlock stages, concept there. You can also unlock music for everybody. And I think it might have been DLC that you could also get the Second Impact music as well. So you can also like buy things like, here's Ken's ending for the game. which is in widescreen, so that's weird. Instead of 4:3. There you go, Sean. You'll never have one of these yourself. Haha, you're a terrible character. You're the Dan of this series. So what is Sean's ending? So even when you win as Sean, you lose horribly. By the way, I'm pretty sure that I have bleeding in the brain right now. I think I might have brained my damage. But yes, this is Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Definitely, you know, Street Fighter 3 Online Edition. If you have a Xbox 360 or PS3, definitely buy it. It usually goes on sale for like under $5. It's definitely worth it. It's the best version of Street Fighter that you can buy and play, in my opinion. So let's try some Virtual Fighter real quick. I haven't really built up the cache for this too well, so I don't know how this is going to work, like how it's going to look. And it's not taking the right screen. Okay, so let's change this source around. There we go. That's cool. I'm actually going to be ending my stream in a little bit. I was that exciting, your brain just could not handle a King Relic and it shut down. I am honored that that happened to you. He was like, I can't handle the epicness and like how well he's playing Street Fighter the movie and Third Strike. I gotta pass out. Yep, played Third Strike, beat it. Now we're playing a little bit of Virtual Fighter 5 for a minute. This is all, once again, still emulated through RPCS3, so... yeah, it's trying to build up a cache, which you might see some weird stuff going on, but... yeah, it doesn't look like it's playing full speed. Well, actually, it says it is, 59. Frames per second say it's 60. Where are my options? Wow, buttons are all over the place. We need to change that. Okay, so that's good. Let's see. Let's just do... ah, crap. It's one of these things here. Okay, so I'm using actually an Xbox 360 stick right now. So this would be... X would be... guard. Let's see. This would be... punch. Triangle should be kick. Okay, there we go. No, no, no. It's the thing is, like, when the Street Fighter the movie came out, like, I really did not like the movie, but it's one of those things that I came to appreciate for what it is a terrible bad movie that becomes fun because it's so cheesy and bad. But yeah, it's something like later in life when it first came out, I was like, oh god, this movie sucks. It wasn't really till like Mortal Kombat came out that it was like the best, you know, like it was like the best video game adaptation movie at the time, really. So yeah, it's a cheesy movie. It's fun just because of how cheesy it is. If you watch it in black and white, it's really kind of amazing to look at, really. It's like the cinematography still works really well in black and white. But I was playing the arcade version of that earlier, and I still want that arcade machine, Street Fighter the Movie Arcade. I can't beat it, but I want it in my collection. Okay, now T. Wallace, admitting that you like the Super Mario Bros. Movie in some circles is considered a war crime by The Hague, so I'd be very careful about mentioning that. Yeah, Super Mario Bros. Movie. You're actually the only person I've ever heard of actually admitting, like, or saying that they actually liked that game, like that movie. Let's see.
I won't go easy on you.
So that was you who did that.
You'd better take me seriously.
Round one. Ready, go! Knockout. Round two. Ready, go! Knockout. Yes.
Yay, I got a trophy!
So, who's next?
No. I'm pretty sure, T. Wallace, you've probably read, like, or at least heard the stories of what happened behind the scenes of that movie. And it was, like, just doomed from the start.
Round one.
Then the directors were like, you know what? They had their approved script, like, for what they were supposed to start shooting, and then, like, decided, we're gonna shoot our own thing. We want this to be, like, a R-rated Mario Brothers movie. Like, nope! Instead of being, like, you know, Mushroom Kingdom, we're gonna have a sci-fi twist to it. They basically started to shoot their own movie that they wanted to do instead.
Round two. Ready, go!
Experiencing some frame drops down to, well, not through Twitch, but just through the emulator itself. It's like I've had like 55 at parts.
Might makes right.
Now, this training mode is pretty good, but the absolute best training mode I've ever seen was Virtua Fighter 4. That training mode for the game, that's like PlayStation 2, would take you from like anywhere from absolute beginner to like pro level strats if you wanted to invest the time. It was that good of a training mode. Oh look, it's El Fuerte.
Excellent. Round two. Ready, go! Knockout.
Yes, this game does have, I think it's Shun Di is the guy's name. I think this game has like everybody in it, if I remember correctly. It's been a while. Vanessa I really liked in Virtua Fighter 4, and they changed her around for 5 again, so... Whoa, okay. Like I said, it's like the simulator still has to build caches on everything, so you're gonna see some weird graphic stuff here and there.
Knockout. Round 2. Ready, go!
Whoa, that was a huge counter.
Knockout. Round 3. Ready, go!
So the easiest Virtua Fighter I ever played was Virtua Fighter 3. I actually played that on stream once, a couple months back, and it's like I beat it without losing a single round. Like I had to double check the settings to make sure that it was in fact all set up correctly, like it wasn't on easy mode or anything.
Knockout. This can't be it.
I hate it when games do this. So this is one of those games where it's like, if you continue, you're forced to as the same guy. You can't pick a new character. Maybe there's an option to change it, I don't know. It's been a while since I played this game. I've actually never played as Brad before, but it just seems like it wouldn't be too hard to pick up. He's not. Virtua Fighter is like one of those series where it's not that complicated button-wise. You have a guard, a punch, and a kick. But just like the strategies you employ to win and play against other people is what really makes it really stand out. You don't need like all these crazy buttons and, you know, six attacks there. You just need punch and a kick. But it's how you use it and guard and when, your different tactics, if you can wall bounce somebody.
Knockout.
That's what makes it really shine through.
Might makes right.
I'll be celebrating tonight. Round 1. Ready, go!
Jeffrey, no!
Knockout. Round 2. Ready, go!
Oh, yeah, his throws are brutal. He gets going. Like him and Wolf. You get those two going, it's gonna be Pain City.
Knockout.
Pai-chan! I remember the original Virtual Fighter when I hit the arcades. I mean, wow, this is interesting. The fun of emulation, everybody. And I remember when I hit the arcades, like, no arcade game had looked like that. It was like a 3D fighter. And then on top of it, the really weird thing I remember, like, sticking out my head is, like, jumping. In this game, it's not too bad. But, like, the original was, like, moon gravity. It was like, you jump in the air, you just, like, stay up there forever. You still have, like, slight hops in this game. They're still a little floaty, but the original is, like, you jump in the air and you're there for, like, 6 seconds till you land.
Round 2. Ready, go!
They really did not want you jumping in that game.
Knockout.
Final stage. Always annoyed me that they're like, oh, this guy's like uses karate. It's like that's not karate of any style at all.
Yes. Koi. Round one. Ready, go!
Whoa, seeing some frame drops. Like I said, it's not Twitch, it's the emulator. It's struggling to keep up. It's down to the 50s, which is why it looks a little slower right now. Because I don't have the beefiest gaming computer, so...
Knockout. Round two. Ready, go! Knockout. Round three. Ready, go!
Fortunately, I don't know what his ground attack is, so... That's why I haven't been attacking anybody on the ground.
Knockout. Round one. Ready, go! Knockout. Round two. Ready, go! Knockout.
Draw. Basically, it's like the T-1000. At least it used to be. I need an adult, I think? I'm not sure. Nobody get me a Twitch ban for the metal naked lady.
Knockout. Round two. Ready, go!
Ah, it's playing as Kage right now. And Vanessa? It's going all over the place. Interesting. Okay.
Knockout.
Switching back and forth between all the characters. You lose, but it's just a bonus level, so...
Game over.
Brawl is now usable. Use in offline versus dojo and some room matches. Shundi, here you go. We'll play with him for a minute or two.
Round one. Ready, go!
So basically, in order to get him, like, the full power, you need to, like, drink. And I don't remember how to do it, and this game doesn't have anything that really tells you how to do it.
Round two. Ready, go!
Because you unlock, like, better moves and... Okay, figured it out. Come on, I'm gonna kick you in the face. Come on.
Knockout.
Yeah, how'd you lose? Well, they're like, how'd you lose? The guy's like 80 years old. Oh, he was pretty drunk, and I did a handstand. I was just so taken back what he did. He just hopped forward and kicked me. Whoa, he was naked there for a second.
Round one. Ready, go!
Yep, so everybody's in this game. Tia Arashi hadn't been seen since Virtua Fighter 3?
Knockout. Round two. Ready, go! Knockout.
Cage! It's Kage. We didn't know at the time a lot, and I didn't study Japanese back then. That I did, and I was like, oh, it's Kage. Oops.
Round one. Ready, go! Knockout. Round two. Ready,
But the funny thing is that there is actually a drunken kung fu. It's not usually what people think it is. Like, you're thinking like Jackie Chan, things like this, but it's really quite different. And I actually know drunken kung fu on top of it, so I kind of know what I'm talking about.
knockout.
But yeah, it's nothing like what you see in the movies or anything like, you know, pretending to be drunk, except for a couple of different moves and stances you have. But everything you do has like a meaning behind it, like lifting, like, you know, the barrel for Buddha and things like that. These different poses you do. Alright, Nimix, see you later. Eventually we'll be ending this pretty soon because my hands are swollen up. Thanks for dropping by as always.
Round one. Ready, go! Knockout. Round two. Ready, go!
So you got Drunken Kung Fu, you have like Animal, which is like monkey style with this girl. And you also have Shaolin with another guy too. Got the guy's name, but he's got Shaolin style, which is like a lot of different movesets you can pull off with him. Vanessa, she was my main in 4, and they really changed up her moveset for 5, and then I never really figured it out after that.
Just focus on your enemy.
Round 1. Ready?
And she stands chance immediately.
Knockout. Round 2. Ready? Go!
Oh, there's also Mantis Kung Fu too, like a pseudo video game Mantis Kung Fu, I should say.
Knockout. Round 3. Ready? Go!
Thanks for letting me up. Thanks for throwing me. Yeah, by the way, John Wick 3. Not gonna spoil it, but if you want to play a drinking game, really effective one is to take a drink every single time John throws somebody, and you'll probably be dead in the first 7 to 8 minutes of the film, and it's not gonna get any better as it goes forward. It's like, he throws so many people in that film, like just flipping them around. It's like, oh my god, it's like, do you know there's other stuff? Keanu actually looked like, yeah, I think they may have been like, trying to pull it off, like play it off like, oh, his character's hurt, but he's looking very stiff, like he can barely move. So something might be going on with the man Keanu, not sure. But for now, we have reached the end of the stream, so of course, thank you everybody for tuning in and watching and hanging out as I play a good Street Fighter, a really bad one, and then a game that's not even Street Fighter to begin with. So, Daze, thank you very much for the follow there, and of course, I want to thank Nimix, T. Wallace, King Relic, Ronnie showed up there as well, I remember. Mollusk came in too, the Morgue, you can never forget the Morgue, no matter how much you try in therapy, he always comes through. But joking aside there, it's always good to see everybody here, and of course anybody lurking in chat. So, I do stream, usually on average about every day or so, at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if you feel like coming back, if you haven't followed already. If you don't know when that is, just basically copy and paste exactly what I put into chat right now, into Google, and it will tell you for what time it is for wherever you are in the world. You can also check me out on Twitter, at Wursel555. You don't have to follow there or anything, but, you know, it's like, basically, I usually post up about 2 to 3 hours in advance if I'm going to be streaming, or if I need to cancel for whatever reason, either due to a technical thing, or if there is, like, you know, if my health gets in the way, something like that there, I always post up so you'll always know what's going on. So next stream should be most likely a Bayonetta 2 speedrun. I think I'll be doing that. And then the stream after that will probably be going back to Donkey Kong Country 2, trying to break it with the Game Genie, because I did softlock it last night. That was interesting. So next time is going to be, like tomorrow, most likely, Bayonetta 2 speedrun. And let's see who's hosting. Looks like... yes, Frenchie09. Looks like he's doing Bayonetta... Not Bayonetta, but, looks like he's doing Ninja Gaiden Black, so we're going to rate him. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. Do appreciate it. And see you guys next time.